We're in. There we go. Right, got it sorted. Good evening, Eagles fans, one and all. How are we doing on a, what are we now? Wednesday? We're on a Wednesday. Sorry there was no stream on Monday. My neck hurt, basically. That's a really dodgy excuse. I feel like prime Ben Simmons, if I'm honest with you. I sprained it, and then I strained it again, and I woke up and I needed like ice packs. So I was like lying there. I literally couldn't move that way. But we're all right. We're back. We're all good. And we're ready to jump into some Eagles analysis. So not much has changed in the world of the Eagles over the last couple of days outside of the Avonte Maddox signing, which I believe we covered last time out. So we can dive straight into some prospect spotlights and some scouting and that sort of thing over the next hour or so. Sorry, I'm out of breath. We're running around. If you're new to the stream, hello, bonjour, comment appelle-tu. We only do it in French for this one bit. The only news that has dropped is, of course, that the Eagles are playing the Packers in Brazil. So that's news, I suppose, isn't it? Woo! Packers. Great. It is what it is. I mean, like, I'd much rather a game they should be winning than a game where it's like, oh, I don't know, it's like two gladiator teams and it's kind of not wasted, but you don't want the home field advantage wasted. Like, does it really matter if the Eagles beat the Packers in Sao Paulo? If it was Eagles v Cowboys and they lost their home game and they instead have to go to Corinthians Arena, like, that's a little bit different. So from my perspective, have them, have the Falcons, whoever it is, and have that one in Brazil, because it's going to not really be as significant, hopefully, as time goes on. Let's get into Greg. Tom watched Chop last night. Right, so I mean, we'll start there. We haven't done defensive ends yet. I'm not even sure if we've got defensive ends on my sheet. The dreaded sheet, which, you know, I often forget to make bigger and fill out. We actually haven't, so we'll do that now. We'll copy this and we will just simply change all of it. So add a sheet. I know we hate admin on this stream, but sometimes it just has to be done. I don't make the rules, okay? It's just got to be done. So, right. So what do we want from a defensive tackle? Is bend important? I mean, I would say, look, first and foremost, burst. We want someone that's quick off that first step, essentially. That first step, that get off. Pass rushing moves. Now, I don't mean the ability to get to the quarterback, because I think that varies largely depending on the quality of teams you're watching. Like, for instance, if you're watching an absolute baller from Buttfuck United, he's probably going to do well against, like, the FCS East All-Star team from NCAA 14. He just is. If you watch someone from Alabama and they're playing against Clemson or they're playing against Penn State, like, you're going to have a much different grade. Then they might not be as successful. What you're looking for, in my opinion, is just the tools. Like, are they a one-trick pony? Do they have anything more than a simple rip move? Are they able to, you know, bend around? Do they have any spin moves? Do they use their hands? Are they aggressive with chops? Like, what is it that they bring? So that one's quite important to me. Athleticism in itself, I'm going to take out, because that is kind of the same as pass rushing moves. We're going to say run defense. I'll put SE for set the edge, because I think that's also extremely important for, especially in this scheme, especially when we're talking about the Vic Fangio defense. Like, the Eagles need someone that might be able to drop back into coverage, that can move laterally, that is able to, you know, tackle cleanly and execute those. Do we want to put coverage? Nah, we probably wouldn't. I'd say effort and strength can both be there. And then we'll go for... What else are we saying? Is there anyone said it in the comments yet? I can't say. Let's have a look. The best teams beat whoever, whenever. That's a good comment. I agree with that, Tom. That's a very fair point. I would say, if we've got run defense, which kind of goes into that anyway, let's just go for... I'm going to call it cherry, right? And this is cherry on the cake. Do we have a Vinny Curry situation where you do everything right, but you can't quite get home? You get off your block. Can you get off your blocks? Can you get home to the quarterback? Can you force a play behind the backfield? That, I think, to me, is quite important. It's worded awfully, I know, but she's my cherry pie. Let's look at some Chop Robinson then. Let's see what we've got. I've not watched any Chop Robinson. I've watched a little. I say I've not watched any. I've watched a little bit. I've not watched any game tape that like we do on the stream. So here we go. Let's see what we're cooking with here. Is he number 90? Hang on. I might need to watch that one again. I wasn't looking properly. Is he on the... okay, so he's on the other edge. Right. So the BG side of things. Okay, not too much on the first play. Not great. He did fall over a bit there. Yeah, that's not his finest moment, in fairness, but I'm not going to hold that one against him overly. Did get absolutely washed on that play. If you look at that, just thrown to the ground. Not a care in the world, just pure to the ground. That was a bit of a better get off, but again, he's just gone right into the tackle. Like if you look at, well, I guess all you're trying to do there is set the edge to allow the linebackers to come through. So it's not a pass rushing situation, but he's gone much more like sideways, if that makes sense, to try and go around the outside, and just hasn't been able to get off that at all. Will he end up around the ball? No. Okay. So it's first few plays in. Jesus, he is being mauled this game, isn't he? 54 has got him in his back pocket. If you're wondering where Chop Robinson is, he's in the back pocket of 54. Now, comparatively, I don't know this team. You know, I know it's Philadelphia, technically. But if you just watch the opposing... Now, I know he kind of goes like unblocked a bit here, and he's got a running back to deal with instead, so it's not the same. What I will say is that Robinson does have a spin move there. My initial point I was making was that he doesn't make as much progress, but on second watch, I don't think it matters. So 54. I don't know why he spun there, really, because I don't think the lineman had enough momentum for it to matter. Like, if you watch it again, he's got the move there, which is good. So he gets a point in that column. But there's no... He can't bend it. Look, it's like we'll see. We'll see if he has that kind of burst in his pocket. Intrigued to see what Tom thinks as well. I mean, that's a bit better, but he was a bit of a motor on that one. There we go. Now he starts a bit further back so we can gain steam quickly. So what does he do when he starts getting up? So quick burst, active hands, going very high to then go low, tries to pull underneath. At that point, he's double teamed, keeps the legs moving. That's better. That's a better play. That's probably the best one we've seen yet, if I'm honest. From just yeah, I'm glad we get another view of this. Just watch the hands. He's gone very early to engage contact, and the lineman is set beautifully to just embrace it. Like the pads over his knees, the weight's on the back foot. He's just ready to suck up all of that, essentially. And then he pushes his hands down to drive through. And all that really does is allow the lineman to get around him. But he keeps those legs moving, churns on, forces the quarterback out of the pocket. And the result there is a positive play for him. So it's very medium at the minute. Nothing has really jumped. That was better. There we go. Right, that's what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. Right, run that one back. Not that one. Not asked about that one. It's this one here I'm looking at. So, huge get off. Charges into the chest of the lineman. Now, the lineman, I think the lineman's designed to push upfield. So, it's not like he's beaten a block. The lineman's very much chipping to push up here, which he then does. Robinson does do a good job, though, of finding the ball carrier in the backfield. So that's a plus. So, he was athletic enough to get in behind the line of scrimmage and make a play. I just want to watch it again to see how he does it. It's just very much ripping through that. Sifts through. Yeah, it's a nice play. It's a nice play. My biggest concern with him is size, says Tom. I was a tight end blocking him there. Okay. Well, he's 6'3", 254. So the weight is definitely... I'm not sure if it's concerning. I mean, that would look like a fumble there. But what is the average defensive end? What, like 270-ish? Right? Like 275? Or am I making that? Oh, I'm just chatting shit. I feel like the average defensive end is like 275-ish, right? Oh, well, you know that. So what does he do here? Again, it's another one of them. So he's trying to sift through the guard. Does he make it play? Yeah. No, he does. So he's very sneaky there to get through. Brushes off two players that I'm not sure either were really assigned to. I don't know what happened there, if I'm honest, with the Illinois offensive front. But either way, forced the fumble. Can't be mad at it. Good play. Big players make big plays. Now, what was that? Was that any better? So he's gone in for the running back and then tried to work across. And it did for you could. I'm not sure it forced the interception. I mean, you can argue that he might have just pushed enough pressure onto the quarterback to force a bad throw. I'd count that as a pressure. Pocket probably wasn't. Oh, it was more pressure from the right side than the left. But do we get another replay of this one? I hope so. Yeah, we do. All right, so keep an eye on him. Everything's up high. He can't. I say he can't. I've not seen him like get low and around yet. He's very much like constantly. His head is always over that shoulder. There's no way you can escape that. Like, I'm intrigued to see. It's weird because there are flashes of good pass rush in there, but I don't think he's an exceptional athlete. He is a little bit undersized, and I just wonder. That's a quicker get off, but he can't seem to just get round. Like, in terms of bending the edge, I don't know how much he's there. What's up, Uncle Tom? Nice to see you, my friend. It's been a minute. Especially at 22, he says, of course, there's way too many high and established players to take, possibly trade up. I would agree with that. I think for me, my pick right now, if I'm the Eagles, would be someone like JC Latham. Just trade up if he's, around 14, 15. I think there's too many players in this range that are basically second rounders. That because this class is a little bit weaker, you're mortgaging first rounders on him, and I just don't think it's worth it. Like, there's not enough I'm seeing here, at least, to be overly impressed. I think it was Greg said he had good hands. I mean, we've seen him on a few times. They've been pretty active, but I don't know. I don't know if it matters if the end result's the same. Like, there was always a misconception with Derek Barnett. Like, I was not a Derek Barnett fan. We got a coverage snap, so we'll pause. We'll get to this in a minute. I wasn't a big Derek Barnett guy. I think he took 3 years to learn how to spin in a circle, so that was great. But he did have like these puppy paws that he did quite well, and he would constantly just feel his way around, and that would enable him to use that bend because he's kind of drawing the lineman in and then can get low and get round. We haven't seen Chop do a chop. We haven't seen Chop be able to kind of like get underneath or rip away. Like there's none of that there. He just kind of goes into chest and that's it. So regardless of what his hands do, it's like hand, bang, chest. And we've not really seen much else. So I want to see more of him. I hope that we can. So here he is in coverage. Unfortunately, we didn't get much of it because the ball's gone the other way, which is about par for the course for this stream. But here we go again. That's a bit better. Oh, athletically, it wasn't that bad. Immediately turns upfield. Probably ran a little bit too laterally before turning, but there was a lot of good hip fluidity there. A good benchmark is always what the other defensive end does. So if we watch the other guy, I think that's a tackle. You can tell by his side, it's a little bit more rigid. But Robinson looked good. I mean, he was fluid. So we haven't seen enough to really give a judgment on it. But see, even there, look, there was no hand movement. He did get to the quarterback, but everything's very low, and he just goes in there every time. And I don't know if NFL tackles are going to just rip that to shreds. Because if you just go 1, 2, 3, and then try and leap over the arm, which is what he does, he got quite lucky there, where he was able to get that left arm free. The motor's there. The effort and the motor is definitely there, which is a good sign. The effort's there. He is athletic. The hands are active, and he's instinctive. The rest of it, I think, is questionable. See, even there, he just bullied his way through. But it's just relying on that, like, I don't want to call it power. It's just because he's undersized and he's a little bit quicker that there's a bit more of a thump to him, I think. Like a natural, it's not like a power thump, but it's just like you can see him work, but he can't get round. Like, look how sideways. And I know he's got a running back to deal with there, but it's the same. He just does the same block twice. I don't know. I might be being too harsh. I'm not sure. That was better. See, this is going to frustrate me, isn't it? This is someone that I would be saying in any other draft is probably a third round pick. Again, locked in, head on, and then just drives right around the outside. So there's no. It was a good play. I mean, he got the pressure. The motor is definitely there. Can we add a column for motor or a sec? What have we got? Oh, effort. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you have one for that. Barnett had short arms to me. He did, but I thought he was quite good with how he used them. We're bringing back the black helmets in 2025. Man, I hope so. I've not seen that, but if we have, I'll be absolutely buzzing. I'll be all for it. I think they're great. Absolutely brilliant helmets. He's only taken if we trade back in round 1 or up from 50. My dream is trade up for Quinion Mitchell or Arnold if I make it past, say, 16, 17. I target Armarius Mims for obvious reasons. Yeah. Round 1 is really tricky. Like, the top 5, 6 are really solid. And then it just peters off, I think. For where the Eagles are, I don't think they're blessed with a lot of optionality because the corners... I was saying this to Brian earlier, that the corner picture is so weird where they're not really in a position to move on from Slay or move on from Bradbury. They've just brought back Maddox. We haven't seen anything from Isaiah Rodgers. Tyler Adams has just signed. Then you've got Ricks, Joby, who's the other one? I'm forgetting. Keely Ringo, that are all probably in line, like fringe level guys that could take a step. I don't know if drafting a corner is the right move, and it's the 1 year where there are some guys available who would fit them. But I think Latham or Latham, for me, however you pronounce it, would be the one. What's up, Ron? Nice to see you, sir. Good to see you back in the chat. Oh, nice. Get a nice... Can we get a white one? Get a nice white one going? Get an all white out... We've all got the blackout uniform. And it works with green helmets. Get a white out go. Get a bit of Penn State in there. That'd be sick. Or it'd be a Kelly Green one. Or did they have... They had that already, didn't they? So they've gone green and Kelly Green. So green, Kelly... I'd go white. Bring the white ones back. Let's watch that one again. Also, can we just say... Yeah? Shout out to Zach for that. That was a birthday gift from Zach. What a man. Look at that, look. See? On brand. On brand. I'm a big fan. Also insulted that I don't drink enough water, but the game's the game. He's helping me out. I don't drink enough water. I have headaches all the time. What can you do? Right. So, he's actually dropped back into coverage there. Okay, so he gets fooled a little bit by the running back who makes a cut. And, yeah, okay. I don't know if that's on him as much as it is anyone else. So he drops back. Or is that not him? Oh, no, that's not him. Sorry. No. He's on the edge. He's on the edge. Sifts through a block. Pushes the pile. And the running back makes a cut. So not his fault. Effort was there again. It's just gone the other way, isn't it? Into coverage here. He's light on his feet in coverage. I like that. He isn't like a plot. Oh, there we go. Right. Bit of... Oh, damn. Bit of burst there. That was good. I mean, there was no one on him. It was not an assigned thing, was it? But even there, he's got all that speed. He had all that momentum. And the lineman just shoved him 50 yards behind the quarterback because he can't bend. So, I mean, that was good. That's a bit of jaggle, if that's a word. See, starts left. But again, it ends up the same way. So he gets past the tight end and goes straight into... And it's the same thing. Every single Chuck Robinson play ends the same. Of a lineman with an arm here and Robinson's head over it like that. Every single time without fail. And oh, God, his quarterback is horrific. Same again there. I want to see a second game because I think this is inconclusive. Like, I'm not expecting him to bend the edge like Neo from the Matrix, but go on, make a tackle. Make a tackle. Oh, okay. See, I don't know if I'd have made that. Yeah, he's got support there, I suppose. Probably needed to. Couldn't let that block go upfield. That's fair. Jeez, see, Penn State are rolling, aren't they? Oh, hello. Right, that's better. So coverage is actually pretty good. Light on his feet, eyes on the quarterback. Actually jumps a route here. Another terrible throw. And almost comes away with a pick. That's better. I want to put some music on in the background if that's all right as well, just because I don't want it to be like silent and awkward. I want to have a nice little vibe going, you know? Like I said, yeah, the instincts are on point. He thinks he's a linebacker. You should do a poll in the comments. I don't know if I can from StreamYard. I would. I would if I could. I don't think I can from here. I'd have to. I'm have to go into the YouTube account or something. But Ringo's going to be CB2. Arnold Quinn, you'll be terrific CB1. But good seeing you. Good coverage as per usual. I appreciate you, man. Look, I would be down for either of them, to be honest. Like, look, I'm not a Darius Slay fan. We've all established that. I think James Bradbury fell off horrifically. I just think that they're unfortunately tied, so probably won't make a move. If it was my draft, I'd get James Bradbury gone, and that'd be it. I'd be all in. So we're just going to put some music on. That's an advert. Bear with me. Then we'll finish this tape. This tape's done. All right, so we're one game into Chop Robinson. Then we should be able to get one more, hopefully. Do you want all pass rush? We'll do all pass rushes just because I think this is where we've got the most question marks. He does look good as potentially I wouldn't say a cover linebacker. I wouldn't trust him there full time, but he's shown he can drop into coverage. I don't have concerns about that. Let me know. That's nice and just chill a bit. Okay, this is a bit of a better view. Again, ends up the same way. Well, Ben there, but is met by a block, so you can't really do too much. Yeah, same again. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit of an arm movement there, trying to rip up. Look, gets that inner arm underneath. Bang. So that's better. That is better. Unfortunately, again, ends up in largely the same space he always does. The ball rush, and did he get a push there? I think so. Into the chest because the lineman went wide. Read it well. The instincts are there. That's the thing. Like he does seem to read things well. Lining up in the B gap. I don't know, man. Ugh. See, like they're just not refined. I don't think. He just goes into the chest. That's better though. I think the lineman he slipped there, which made his bend look a bit bigger than it was. But you got to crash inside there. He can't. He just cannot do it. We'll do one more of these because that was quite quick. We've got a 2-minute one here. Yeah, he kind of is. I appreciate it. So my mic's off. Oh, really? Hold on. Maybe it's because I always turn the music off. Is that better at all? We're into Michigan. We're into Michigan. We spent half an hour on Chop Robinson, which I think it's needed because he's a name that's constantly. We'll do the other half and obviously Latu, if that's his name, or Latu, like whichever one. He just cannot seem to. Oh, that's better. There we right. Okay. Don't know what the quarterback was doing, mind. Nice. Bend. Get in. I just want to freeze frame it there. Lovely effort there from the quarterback to throw well on his arm. There's a bit more to him here. This is a bit more positive. Well, that bit wasn't, but most of it's been positive. Lining up kind of inside over the center there, and it's a screen, so that's not gone well. Oh, no. Wow. There's a bit more there. Like, I'm not sure that what about this game is any different, but he does seem to be a little bit more engaged, if that's the word. Can't get off that. He's the one furthest away from the ball there. And that's a tight end that's just giving him work. A tight end is that's twice. That's 3 times. Better there, but there wasn't really much in the way. I don't know. It's a good benchmark. To me, this is like a second, third round pick. I would not take him in the first. There's just not enough. I think I've seen him make a sack yet. I don't know what his sack numbers are like. And I know that's not really a good metric, but his willingness to engage is great. Just needs to go to the Jordan Davis School of Sandwiches. How do I feel about Adisa Isaac? I don't think I've actually looked at him yet, to be honest with you. We can add him to our list, though, for sure. I'll do it now. Hang on. What's he called? Adisa Isaac. Now, we've done Dejeen. We've done all of these, apart from Van Pram, which we're not doing because we don't need it. So let's look at defensive end. So we're going Chop, Robinson, Burst. I don't know, 6.5? No, the burst is there. The burst is there. It's the rest of it. Pass rushing moves, 6. I think it's fair. Run defense, 6.5. Can he finish plays? I don't think he can. That's one of the grey areas for me. The effort is an 8 and the strength is about 6. So 39.5, which isn't great. I mean, if we compare them to other like 39s, that's a bit above Malik Washington at receiver. Puts him around Kool-Aid McKinstry level, who I'm also not very high on. Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, we'll do Latu. What Shulman thinks to Lane Johnson pancaking. Nick Bosa last year, he's bigger. Chop's going to need some weight. I agree. I did not see enough there to be overly enthused about anything, if I'm honest. So, yeah, let's just take a look at... this is the other one, isn't it? Latu tape. Can we have some tape, please? Has anyone got any tape? Here we go. Shout out Adrian Sienko, whoever he is. We're putting all these up. What a man. Looks a bit taller and a bit leaner. This is against Arizona, so it's not an overly stout opponent, but it already has a bit more speed, I think. You can see that there's the athleticism bar's ticked up a bit. I didn't mind that. I mean, he traveled laterally quite well. Wasn't the worst play in the world. Engage that. It's not terrible. Jog in there. Okay. But look how he's lined up. So he's obviously there to try and meet that guard and the running back. Meets him in the chest. It does open a hole. And by the time he turns around, he's just jogging then to the sideline. That's much better hand move than what we saw with Chop. It's only one play, but just watch them here. Look at that left arm and the left leg, and he'll plant and kind of swim over the top, knock that hand down. The lineman gets back into the play really nicely there, but the move is there, which, again, Chop's very subtle with his. And I'm not sure whether it's just like Liatu's got a bigger wingspan, which it certainly looks like, because he looks like a fucking bald eagle out there. But it certainly looks that way to me. And because he's got that wingspan, he can stay further away from tackles. So I don't even think as much as it is as the weight with Chop Robinson. Like, look at that. Spin move to generate pressure. That's a hell of a throw. But because he's longer and he's a bit bigger, he doesn't have to get right into their chest. He can actually, like, do a bit of this. Like, look at that. Rolls right across his chest. I don't think Robinson can do that because he's rolling like in between two massive arms and can't get free. So there is definitely something to be said for the weight concerns with, like, look, he's so much more active. So much more active with his hands. Not bad in coverage. I mean, was that on him? I say not bad. He gave up a touchdown. I don't think it's on him necessarily, is it? Yeah, there's not really much he can do against that. He tries to get his hand in and knock the ball out. It's not a bad job, really. But he looks so huge. He's got to be like 6'4". Got to be. Licensed bananas, but his injury history, lack of length. And is it lack of length? I think his length looks really good. But I don't know if it's just because Robinson's so undersized. I'm not sure. He doesn't have long arms. He's older due to his history. He was best edge player in the country last season. Prediction to the NFL is tough. He's 6'5". Okay, so maybe it's not longer arms, he's just longer then. Shout out to Eric. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're all doing well. I shall tip my hat to you in the chat 12 this evening. 265 6'5". Jesus. I mean, that is a problem in itself, like for offensive lines. Need to stop drinking over my iPad because I'm spilling it all over it. Dreadful. See, it's not a bad play. Got the pressure. Oh, wow. Oh, that sucks. You'd be gutted, wouldn't you? Absolutely gutted. See, he can fight out of blocks. It's just... Yeah, he's much more. He's a much more refined pass rusher on film, but I think his weight, or it's definitely his length helps. His arms just do look big. Look at that. That's the bend. Like that's all I wanted to see from Chop Robinson all day was that. Like, can he get off a block and stay up and get round? And Chop couldn't do it. So I'm not saying Latu is this like golden egg of pass rushers because he's not, but he's certainly an upgrade over Chop Robinson. If it came between the two, to me, injury history or not, it's a no-brainer. I'm not sure what JMHO means, but I appreciate you, Uncle Tom. I see that means you're off. So take care. Have a good night, my friend. Thank you for hopping in. We'll see if we can get the Oregon State tape. Went against good to great tackles in the Pac-12 and still got 13 sacks. He's just menacing. Look. Rip it out. Yeah, let him try. It's there. 23 sacks in 2 years, winning against the best lineman in his draft, and FlyEagle was the only one that gave him trouble. I do kind of want to watch that out of morbid curiosity now. But I think we're already seeing here that he's definitely way more accomplished than Chop Robinson. Look at the hands. It's just constant. Chop's just a bit here, and he can't do much. He's got little T-Rex hands, it looks like. And he might not, but it's how it looks on tape. And that, to me, is what matters at the end of the day. If a guy... Who was that guy we looked at? And I was adamant he was like 5'7". And he was actually 6 foot. And I was like, there's no way. He doesn't play like it at all. Like, I feel like your actual measurements and what you look like on film are two very different things. Like, you could be 6'5", 300 pounds, but if you get rocked off your step every single play as an offensive lineman, you're going to look like you're 6'5", 250 pounds. So it's all relative, I think, to how they look like on tape. And when you look at Latu move, it's very clear that he fills that frame. I guess there are question marks about him, but at the same time, like, I'd rather those question marks than can Chop Robinson ever learn to chop, you know? If Latu can be what he looks like he can be, that was a prime example of what I meant with these puppy paws. If we go back to this again, just look, hands, ready? Just pull, bang. Like, it's just setting him up. And, like, I don't think Robinson can do that. Whether it's a shorter wingspan. Look at the state of that step as well, by the way. Really quickly. Look at his angle. He's angled towards the quarterback. And within 2 steps, that's an unreal jump. Unreal jump. It's only subtle and you wouldn't notice it, but makes a hell of a difference when you're doing that time and time again. See, even that, right, I want you to watch this. This is quite good. This is a great example. So look, so at this point, he hasn't even met his block yet. All right, he's dealing with a running back going out into the flat. And just look at the rest of the line, okay? And where they are relative to him. He's a step behind. And look at where they end up. He's gained, like, he's got in front of the opposite edge rusher. You know, like, that's scary. Just from a technical perspective. Very lastly, Latu is indifferently more likely to be taken at 22 than any other edge. My other dream is trading up for Dallas Turner, which he won't, so it's Latu. Yeah, I've not watched Dallas Turner yet. I think we might need to, just for context, but that is nasty, isn't it? That is absolutely nasty. Eric, You sassy little devil. For me, I'm all for trading back. I can make a case for trading back. I think if you're at 22 and you can drop into like 35, 36, get yourself like one of those fringe guys. Because a lot of these first rounders are seconds in another class. Like, there's none that I would hang my hat on in this range that I've seen outside of JC Latham, who's probably going to be gone by like 15, 16. So unless you're going to move up, move back, pick up another second round pick, and get yourself, whether it's Malachi Corley, whether it's Edgerrin Cooper, like, you can get 2, 3, 4 guys all on the fringe of that second round that are going to benefit your team much better than going all in on a corner like Kool-Aid who's shite, or someone with like question marks on over them. So I don't. I think it will be JC Latham, but I wouldn't mind trading back. For me, trading back is the safer play. This team is built to win now as it is. None of these players in reach are going to take him over the top. They are not a Chop Robinson away from a Super Bowl. They are an Edgerrin Cooper. They are potentially someone like Trevin Wallace, someone like Malachi Corley, maybe Quinion Wilson at a push, but someone like that. I mean, in an ideal world, Cooper DeJean, who's versatile and can play every spot and can line up at corner and has played safety, like that would be the difference maker. There aren't many others outside of marginalized that first year because he's going to be stuck behind CJ GJ. Maddox is now back in the slot, and the 2 starting spots are out on the boundary. So you're not going to get to use him that much. And Sidney Brown's coming back. So you don't need that. You don't need that right now. So there is no one, like someone like Latham, if Lane Johnson hangs him up next year or the year after, you've got yourself a solid tackle to hang your hat on for 3 years and an option before you've got to pay him. And I mean, like, Peyton Wilson's a shout from Tom. Like, I'm a big Peyton Wilson fan. I don't know if they go there, to be honest. I think, like, for me, I love him. After watching Trevin Wallace, I would much rather just, like, nullify or negate the injury risk, take Trevin Wallace, and then leave Wilson. Unless, if Wilson falls to the 3rd round, you take him. It's a no-brainer. If he's there at 54, you think about it. But I can see a world where he's either taken 36, around that range, or genuinely about 75. Because we see it every year. There is always a player who has these injury concerns, but they're outstanding, and they just, like Nakobe Dean did it, and they just fall. And they're like, everyone's like, what the hell is going on? There was a safety the year before, 2022, and I can't remember his name. And he fell, and I think he went to Baltimore. And I might be wrong in saying that. I mean, some of you guys might remember, but there was a safety and he dropped all the way in every round. It was like the Eagles have to take him. He's still there. And he went like round 5, I think, in the end. But it was a 2nd round pick, deemed by many. So that's also something to be aware of. Like, I think Wilson could slide. And if you want to negate those injury concerns, then a player like Trevin Wallace, who has all of the same qualities, but isn't as athletic, isn't as burstful, but is maybe a little bit more composed because he doesn't have those gifts to rely on, I wouldn't mind it as an alternate. Like, if you can't get Cooper, move to Edgerrin. If you can't get Cooper, move to Trevin Wallace. Don't even look at Jeremiah Trotter. Waste of time. Don't even look at some of the other linebackers. Like, they'll all be Jordan McGee. I think that Trevin Wallace, for me, is the guy to look at there, like round 3. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, if you can bolster that, give yourself an insurance policy. They need a swing tackle because Driscoll's gone. And they need a backup for Lane because Lane's going to go soon. And if they do the same thing they did with Kelsey and they let him handpick his replacement, and that replacement just so happens to be Latham, absolutely fine. If it's someone else, so be it. But I think that do I like Junior Colson? I think we graded him. I graded him at 40. So I graded him around the same as Jeremiah Trotter. So these are my linebacker rankings for the ones that I've done. Top was Trevin Wallace, weirdly. Oh, sorry. Top was Edgerrin Cooper. Marginally, Trevin Wallace was 2nd, which is where I think the value comes in, because I think he flashes all of those same qualities and will be available in like round 3. Junior Colson, for me, was all right, but wasn't overly athletic. The tackling lacked a little bit. And he isn't an explosive athlete. Jeremiah Trotter, the least said about the better. I think he's drastically overrated. This fella wasn't bad. Tyron Hopper, I didn't mind him. Pretty solid. Sort of like a slower version of Trevin Wallace. Like, not as reliable. The tackling wasn't as good. But at the same time, you take what you can get. Just whatever you do, don't get Jordan McGee. But yeah, it's a very interesting scenario. He's been mentoring Tyler Guyton. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Wilson had 2 ACLs and ankle in college. I think he had a shoulder as well, didn't he? He had a shoulder problem. So there's that to bear in mind. But we'll get on to some one more if we can find one of lie to, because Lord knows we need it. I don't think we do. We've seen enough. We know he's good. We know he's okay. We got this one. This is against Utah. The Utah Utes. See, is it Utah? Utah. The Utah. I don't know. Utah. I say Utah. You say Utah. I'm going to Utah. Or is it Utah? I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is I want to see what this man can do. Oh, that was nice. Jeez. Yeah, I think he's like a hot knife through butter, isn't he? He's one of those players that are very clearly better than everyone else around him. Like, it doesn't take much. It just doesn't take much to see. Whether it's how he reads the play, he's made about 3 tackles in a row here. And I know they're not actually in a row because we're only showing the pass rushing snaps, but like, Jesus. Like, yeah, I don't think we need to see much more. I think we can make a firm evaluation based off of what we've seen, which is just an absolute mauler of an athlete. Yeah, I'm happy with my. It is. See, look, we've now got a battle going on. Utah and Utah. I don't know. I would say Utah, but then is it the Utah Utes or the Utah Utes? Utah Utes? I see, stuff to think about. All right, second offensive end. Latu. Burst. 8.5. Pass rushing moves. 8.5. He's got them all. Run defense was solid. We'll put 7. Nothing. Cherry on the top. Yeah, I think you're going to get better than that. Effort. He has got a high motor. Strength 8. I think that's fair, right? I think that's fair. Wow. Okay. Well, there's your first 50. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of a possible 60, he's got 50. That is our highest graded player yet in doing this. So there you go. I'm mispronouncing memory. I'm mispronouncing Utah in memory of Phil. Miss you, Phil. He's not dead, but you know, dead to me because he left. No, I'm joking. He's a lovely man. He's doing his thing, and that's fine. But I wish he'd stayed. I was saying this on Twitch last night. I know a lot of you are still going to be watching the trending in the AM, which is obviously great when that starts up again. I wish he stayed, to be honest. Like, I thought we were building something nice and we looked after him and we had a lot of opportunities and stuff with like events and things. But at the end of the day, he's got to do what's right for him. And if he thought that was right, then, you know, all I can do is wish him all the best. And I'm happy to have played a little role in his career where he can now do something he feels is better for him. And if that becomes bigger and better, amazing. Like, he's so dedicated to building his brand that I think he knows what he needs and what he wants. And if he can get that somewhere else or he thinks that's changed, then I'm not one to question that. Like, that's not the kind of person I am. Like, I'm not going to stand in the way of someone's growth if they see it away from what we're doing. So, yeah, very, very great. No. We're not turning heel. Like, I'm very, very grateful to Phil and all Phil's done. But I wish he stayed, is all I can say. Like, it sucks that he's leaving, and he did a great job when he was here, and he, you know, carried a lot of the load on YouTube. And look, without Phil streaming, we wouldn't be having this stream now because I wouldn't have got the bug to come back. And he did a lot of amazing streams over that, like, 8-9 month stretch that he was with us. So, yeah, I want to see him do well. And part of me was really genuinely hoping a bit when he left it would be for someone really big, like an All Philly or a Yakib or someone, because I think he's deserving of that sort of platform and that sort of exposure. So I was a little bit disheartened when it wasn't. and it was something where I felt we could maybe help more. But again, I know he's going through some amazing changes right now in his life, and he's just settled on a house and stuff. And if it works for him and he's going to be better off and feel he can do a better show and build something in his vision, then all for it, Love him to bits. Are you saying Phil took the piss? Yeah. Phil took the piss. Phil's got to finish his story. That's it. That's it. But, just like, Code, all I ask, Eric, right, is that if Phil makes it big time and he goes full time and he gets a whole studio, that one day he gives me the little Bullet Club kiss like Cody did after winning the Rumble. Just never forget the roots. Just give me the Bullet Club kiss. All will be forgiven. But I hope you all still support him when he goes, and we will be as well. So it all ended on good terms. We love each other. And yeah, I want him to do well for himself. So we should have time for one more player, hopefully. This ain't, why is that gone? Okay. I can't, okay, I'll just come back. Right. Who are we looking at? Is there another defensive end that we should be looking at? Dallas Turner, Jared. I've heard Jared. We've seen Dallas Turner had it a lot. Let's do Dallas Turner then, because if Latu is our top graded player, I would assume Dallas Turner, in theory, should be better. And this is LSU, so these are big boys we're looking at now. We'll do both. As a treat for you, Greg, I'll do both. How about that? How about that on this Wednesday evening? Let's have a look. Giving you some swallowing ASMR there. Not like that. Looks a little... Oh, there's a bit of vigorousness to him. He's really aggressive in his movements. When he's engaged in a block. Just look at him. He's just throwing around, trying to get off. Not as... Oh, he lost his foot in a bit there. He's not as quick as Latu, I don't think. Off that initial burst. But I'm intrigued. Oh, hello. Oh, the speed he picked up off the spin was nice. I like that. And it tries it again. Or was that the same play? I don't know. I think I just watched the same play twice. It's been fairly quiet out in this one, but it is LSU, so I'm not expecting, miracles. It's better. Yeah, I like that. Let's go back, watch that one again. So it's the next play here. Off the edge, storms into the tackle. He's constantly moving, trying to find leverage, and even though he didn't get home, he's constantly trying to work blocks. And I like that. That's more encouraging for me than finishing the plays, is that, oh, we got walked back a bit there. Is that there is the aggressiveness to actually want to finish them. There's people that finish them because they can, and there's people that finish them because they want to. And Turner he's getting momentum a bit now. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, he's coming. It's been a slow burner, but look at him, just constantly moving. Oh, the speed! Oh my God, get him! Look at that! Look, he didn't quite bring him down, but wow. I don't think I've seen a defensive end do that in a little while. That's encouraging. Is Liam the final boss? I am the final boss. The final boss. The people's champion. He's coming now, did he? Kemp's in. He's got that dog in him. Yeah, I was a little bit reserved coming into this, but it hasn't taken long to really change my stance. That was nice. He kind of started lower, just ripped up, which was, I don't think I've seen that from a player in a long time either. One hand. I see. Jog there. Let me down. Let me down there. Right. Swim through. Go on. Work. Oh, that's unlucky. See, the aggressive... Oh, what is my man doing there? Just watch his random red body just Oh, no. Oh, he's gone. That looked like an injury. I take it back. That could have been an Achilles, I think. It wasn't nice. Come on, push, 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 push. There you go. Look at that. Get in there and just... But this is the difference. Like, if you compare this to Chop Robinson, and I want to use this as an example, when he goes into the chest, look at his hands. Like, it's hard to see, but they're into the chest and under the arms of the lineman, which just means he can push all that weight forward. Like, the lineman's got the widest stance. So if you push him back, he's going to, like, lose his base, right? Linemen are always taught to try and keep a firm, like... It's a misconception. You don't want a massively wide base because you can get pushed around easily. So the wider you can make them, the better. Like, if you look at Matey Boy here, for instance, I've not watched him this play, but he probably ain't losing it. There you go. Got worked, but not losing it. Meanwhile, here, look at the weight go onto the lineman's back foot. Like, there. Look at his feet, and he cannot get them planted because he was too wide. Because because Turner went underneath and it drove that wide stance backwards. So Robinson doesn't do that. Like, Chop Robinson's very, like, the arm comes under and his arms go over the top and it's like he's being carried out of a gig for crowd surfing or something. Like, he doesn't have that drive. And it's very encouraging to see. It's a totally different breed of edge rusher. Like, he doesn't have the flash that Laiatu does, and he might not be as athletic. Oh, I say that after watching him run 50 yards, but as powerful as some of the others. But, like, just instinctive, aware, aggressive. Like, look, he just doesn't give a shit. He just wants to be, he's hungry. You can see it every play. There's a real tenacity. And I think that counts for a lot. I think that really counts for a lot. Like, I haven't really seen a play where, get in there. Even on plays where he knows he's probably not going to get home, he's still sending absolutely everything or trying to make a play around the ball. Yeah, like, it's really impressive. For a game where he hasn't produced that much, because it's LSU, he are forcing a lot of incompletions. Do we have one more? All right, we've got Georgia. We'll watch the Georgia game as our second. See who we got with this one. And then we will. We got one more player, haven't we, I think, after that. I said I'd treat you.
Results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Yeah, remember those flat haunted allegations? They're back now. They're back. Not expecting any to fall to 22. Not feeling a trade up either. But I'm saying trade back. My whole thing today is trade back. I think trade back's the way forward. Any more mutants like Davis and Carter coming out? I'm on the search for him. I'm on the search. The best one I can see is, well, not from Georgia at least anyway. I mean, Brock Bowers, you can make an argument, but is he really going to be the guy at the next level? Is there actually a first round tight end? Is it going to get the Kyle Pitts treatment or whoever? Like, there aren't many first round tight ends that make it as, like, and live up to that billing. Can I analyze Jaden Daniels' elbow? I saw it on Twitter recently. Apparently, it's like a medical thing where the skin or the something happens where it swells to prevent it from doing something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it's like a medical thing. But it was absolutely terrifying. It looks like a little chicken fillet. Little chicken fillet on there. Right, where are we at here? Go on. Hey, there's an option. I won't blame him for that. The LSU offensive line is going to be first, second, and third rounders next year. I mean, that fills me with confidence because he was giving them work, like, constantly. And I dread to think what he would do against, like, one of the cupcake opponents that Alabama have constantly. Look at person visits the Eagles. The Eagles are the most second-round prospects. Or they have, of most of them, they're second-rounders. But I'm telling you, I think they trade back. There's no juice in that first round. This isn't like where they're in a position to get Smitty. Unless they move up for a player, I don't think anyone at that range of 22. Like, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Instead of looking for another player, we'll do it next time. We'll do a mock sim, just sim the first round and see roughly what players are around 22. Because there just isn't anyone that I can see that, like, I'd hang my hat on and go, yeah, that's my guy for 5 years. Kemp knows ball with Cooper DeJean, but where would you play him? That's my. If you can tell me where he'd play, fine. 5-year plan, where does he play? Because it's like, I said it earlier. He's played corner. Slay and Bradbury probably aren't going anywhere because of the... Yeah, but if you play safety, they've got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship, and Sidney Brown's coming back from injury. All three of those are now long-term options. Brown was just drafted. Reed's got an extension, and GJ's there for 3 years. So he's just not going to be used at safety. You put him in the box. They've now got Maddox. They've now got Tyler. Is it Tyler Adams? Tyler Hall? I think I said Tyler Adams earlier. My bad. Tyler Hall and Isaiah Rodgers, who I'm pretty high on. I think if he can get going and get reinstated after the suspension, I think he's got some upside there. So like Zach McPherson still doing something, presumably. Like, I just don't think there's a spot for him. I think of all the players, Cam, he probably is the dream fit. He is the dream fit for this team. And the secondary is so stacked now, unfortunately, at corner, because you've got Slay they can't move on from. He's too busy, tweeting on the sideline. And James Bradbury, I don't even know if James Bradbury knows he's a football player at this point, but they can't move on from them because they're getting too much money. So I just don't think this is the year. I'd love it if they moved on from Bradbury, bought him in, or got hold of Cooper DeJean and went, right, hey, it's me. You're going to play corner 1 year. In the event of an injury, you can now move to safety. Maddox is gone after next year. You can move to nickel, and they move around that way. I think it makes sense, but I just can't see it being, a thing. But we're going to do just for context purposes, to round out this stream. Oh, we haven't graded him. Hang on. We haven't graded Dallas Turner yet. We'll do that first. Dallas Turner. Oh, bollocks. No. Right. Go down. Dallas Turner. Burst, 8. Pass rushing moves, 8. Run defense, 8. Cherry, 9. Effort, 9. Strength, 9. I'm going to change that to 9 because I think that's more athleticism as well, isn't it? Really. We'll go... It's the same thing. And I think realistically, he is a menace. Like, the burst might not be as good, but as an athlete who can run back upfield, I think you're going to find much better. 52. So it's weird, isn't it? Because the players we're looking at, there are your receivers. There's a couple of corners, defensive ends, linebackers. A lot of them are second round, third round level. Even Cooper DeJean's 47. He's one of the higher ones we've done. But there's a lot of guys around this 40, 39, 40, 42 point mark that are like second, third round guys, in my opinion. So it's very, very interesting. We also have no picks next year. That will change. It's Howie Roseman. That will change. Need players with ruthless aggression. We need some straight edge monsters is what we need, Eric. We need some straight edge ballers. But here's what we're going to do. I just want to make a point of what are we actually going to be looking for here? Because I just can't see, and this is a sim. It's not going to happen this way. We know that. I just cannot see a way that the Eagles can, Dallas Turner's gone 9. Brock Bowers going 10 is ridiculous. But just looking at, Terry and Arnold would be the Quenya Mitchell. I think we haven't done Nate Wiggins yet, have we? We could really do some Nate Wiggins tape. We'll do some more corners on Friday. But I just want to get right. Okay, well, pause the draft. Right, Jared verse 27. Eagles take Byron. Right, let's just go through these one by one from around here down. Brian Thomas, they're not taking a receiver that high. Quenya Mitchell wasn't overly high on. I'll take him over Kool-Aid. Nate Wiggins, haven't watched, so I don't want to make a judgment. But let's just say, for the sake of this, he's better than Quinion, and I like him. My argument stands. There's nowhere to play him. Offensive tackle out of Washington, yes, but he's a bit small. J.C. Latham, yes. Yes. Trade up for him. Armarius Mims, Georgia, tackle, Mauler, yes. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dosser. I haven't watched Johnny Newton. Tyler Guyton, obviously the Oklahoma link, Lane Johnson. Apparently, as we saw earlier in the chat, he's been working with him. That could be a play. Not watched him. Chops mid. Haven't watched Jared. But that's what I'm saying. It's linemen. It ain't going to be Fautanu. It'd be Latham or Mims, really. If we're being honest. And at that point, I mean, Jackson Powers Johnson's another one. It is definitely viable there. Bo Nick. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I just can't see a world where the Eagles can really get a first round pick and everyone comes away going, wow, that's my guy. I can't believe the Eagles got this guy. What a draft. Like, go back the last couple. The euphoria of Jalen Carter and getting Nolan Smith, right? I know Smith didn't live up to the bill in year one, but in that draft night of getting him that late was huge. The year before, Jordan Davis, oh my God, a home run hit. The year before, Devontae Smith, oh my God, that is the best pick this team has made. There is no one here on this list that inspires that same level of confidence to me. Like, there is no blue chip, Devontae Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. I didn't want Jalen Carter for the off-field issues. On the field, I thought he was excellent. And I also said leading up to the draft that if there's ever a team that understand the due diligence and can get a proper read on the situation and who he is as a person, it's a team with 1 million Georgia Bulldogs on the team. And the Eagles took that risk because they did their work and it's paid out beautifully. So I'm not mad at it. But there's no one of that caliber player at that range. So I just don't see it. The great thing about mocks is nobody remembers them the second of the first round ends. I know all off season we spend doing mock draft, like Mel Kiper's draft. I don't think he's ever got any of them like remotely right, but man makes a full-time job doing it. Game's the game. And it is interesting. Like, I think I love doing them knowing that no matter what I do, someone's going to be pissed off. Like, the first one I did this year, everyone like ripped. So, all right, I'm going to do a fan service one and go for all like the Jeremiah Trotters of the world. Everyone ripped that one. Did a third one, which I thought was the best one. That got ripped. So I was like, you can't win. Everyone's got different opinions. And that's the most beautiful thing about football is that, like, it's so subjective. And how you view players is so subjective. And how teams view players is so subjective. Like, you'll never have two people have like an identical mock draft or view a player the same way. It's fascinating. I love it. If we draft Mitchell, not only will he start opposite Slay or in defensive rookie of the year, I like that energy from Andrew. I like that energy, right? We're going to make a note of that and come back that if they draft Mitchell, I'll tell you what, right? If he wins defensive rookie of the year, regardless of wherever he ends up, we'll sort you out a little giveaway prize because I think that deserves it. That's a bold take and I absolutely love it. On that note, we are actually we're going to be doing our draft watch alongs again this year. So days 1, 2, and 3, all weekend, we will be doing our mock drafts, the NFL draft watch along. So the second coverage starts on NFL Network all the way through every pick, every round, every day. We'll have an assortment of PSN members and talents around to cover the event. We'll have articles up. We'll have the YouTube videos. We'll have all sorts. So make sure you stick around for that. I know we've got like just over 2 weeks, but it's good to be prepared. And yeah, I suppose I will see you guys on Friday where we'll do this all over again. Thank you for being patient while I disappeared on Monday to nurse my very injured neck. It's going to be an all-nighter. It's probably my favorite weekend of the year because it is just an absolute train wreck. Like, because we're on YouTube doing the picks, right? Like analyzing them, like the whole time the draft's on. As soon as a pick or a trade's made, one of us has got to write it. Someone else has to edit. Someone's got to host. Someone's going to put it on social media. All through the draft. Then in between days, you're looking at best available players remaining, grading the pick, the press conferences. Like, there's so much that goes into that weekend of coverage. And then you come away from day 3, round 7 ends, and you're like, oh, thank God I can rest. And then it's like, oh my God, wait, undrafted free agents. And then you're going through Twitter trying to find out from agents who signed where, and all that fun stuff. So it's an amazing weekend, and it's something that we really like enjoy the chaos of at PSN, and we always try and like make a moment of. So yeah, I will be caffeined up to my tits, K1, caffeined up to my tits, and I can't wait to see what it holds. But I will see you all on Friday to go over this again. We'll look at some more corners. We'll look at some more defensive ends. Maybe start looking at some tackles because we haven't done that yet, and we've got to probably build out those. Just knowing it's a likely option. you know, someone like Latham, like, is there a difference in play between Mims and Latham? Is there a preference? Tyler Guyton's another one, obviously. So we'll look at those guys as well. And we'll do that on Friday. So enjoy your night, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. Go Birds. Take care. I'll see you soon.